Hello, everyone, and welcome to another week of CCA matches on this fine Saturday night. I am Omazen, and I am here with this fine
Hi.
fella.
I'm I'm the fine
Yeah,
fella. Hi, my name is Raphael.
yeah.
And I'm excited to see what we have coming out here this week in week 3 in the year of our Lord, the season of our Lord, season 4 of CCA. This is going to be probably, I would say it's a really tense matchup. I mean, PSU Blue is one of the hardest hitting teams in Division 1, and Banana Split is the reigning champion from season 3. What are your thoughts on that, Omazan?
So, something worthy of note between these two teams is that they have quite the history and just storied background between both of them. Currently, if you count all of their different matches they've had against each other in the CCA, they're actually 2-2. Um, with Banana Split taking 2 games off of PSU Blue, and PSU Blue also having taken 2 games off of Banana Split in our past CCA seasons and tournaments such as Via Bowl 2 or Entrance Exam or last season, even back in the spring. So it's going to be quite the matchup here. As things currently stand, based on the season so far, PSU Blue has had 4 wins, 2 clean wins, 4-0 each against Reef Runners and Comet Blasters, whereas Banana Split has had a little bit more trouble in that regard. But we're going to hop into the match right now and see what both teams are cooking up.
And we see right here on the side of PSU Blue and the Orange, they're running a double Zuka comp. That's pretty much a staple right now. Interesting pick with Vapor on the Explo. We know Vapor is a bit of an Explo connoisseur, we could say. So it makes sense to see him pulling that out, and the first pot goes to PSU Blue right off the bat, getting early picks on the side of Banana Split. And we see Vapor here pushing them back into Pillow. He's going to grab that Rainmaker and start bringing it over to that first checkpoint. Really swift opening from PSU Blue here, and that is a really big momentum swing in their favor.
Yeah, we see PSU Blue already grabbing that checkpoint, having a lot of paint pressure already down in the plat here on the side of Banana Split. We see the Rainmaker firing shots at the members of Banana Split as they are going down one by one. PSU Blue, so far, all 4 members staying up. That Rainmaker hiding behind that pillow, keeping pressure. We see Lemon on the heavy splatling take out 1 member, and the Hammer also assisting with the pressure and getting PSU Blue out of their zone.
Noel going for a little bit of a risky peek, dropping off that ledge to peek on that guy left in the corner. It really paid off though, they got the pick, and now they're getting that presence back in mid. That wave breaker's off, they're trying to take that space, but it's a little bit of a stalemate right here.
Yeah, we see a lot of back and forth going on between both teams. We have Banana Split currently holding the Rainmaker, although they're currently yet to gain points on the scoreboard just yet. We see that Trizuka coming out on the side of PSU Blue, trying to hit shots on the other Banana Split. However, ultimately, just creating a lot of pressure, although not necessarily grabbing any picks just yet.
And we see that Rainmaker being backed up precariously close to that checkpoint. Bringing it back that far might not be in their best interest right now. They might rather bring it off to a point in the map where it can stall a little more. But
The Wiper
yeah,
with a really
we
good
see the
pick there.
Rainmaker going down.
Yeah, Noel getting a really good pick there on the middle plat, creating a lot of pressure for his team as Banana Split is looking to move forward here and try to get some of mid back. We see Vapor continuing to lob shots with their Explo, and Jay also pressuring with their Trizuka. And ultimately, PSU Blue has regained pressure of mid and is currently holding the Rainmaker as we see them continue to cause pressure moving forward. Vapor getting 2 clean picks with Rainmaker right there, I believe. And ultimately, just taking up a ton of space and kicking Banana Split out of their plat.
Definitely, definitely. Playing the patient game here, we see them waiting for the members of Banana Split to kind of just trickle into mid, and they're picking them off one by one. And they're going in for another push. They don't get a lot of mileage out of it, but if they play their cards right, they have that Zuka on bats, finding another pick. They're, they could easily stall for jumps and regain that momentum back in their favor. The jumps are in. We see Jay kind of rolling it out right there on the top left. Unfortunately not able to hold his ground, so now we see Krakenmare making a tactical retreat back to mid.
Yeah, we have the Rainmaker now owned on the side of Banana Split again. That rush attempting a flank, although ultimately going down. We see the Hammer on the side of Banana Split going into their zone and trying to create enough pressure to open up some space. Currently, PSU Blue down 2 members, with Banana Split having just 1 down, but one's coming right back from spawn. We see them grabbing their Trizuka and attempting to get picks, getting close, but just a tad off. This is getting very close, and PSU Blue is going to have to actually kick out Banana Split if they're hoping they can maintain their lead.
Definitely, definitely. And we see right here, Banana Split, like you said, they brought it pretty far up.
Oh,
and,
they get lead!
They snuck the Rainmaker, getting that lead from PSU Blue right in the last minute of the match. Okay. With that hammer, the hammer's going to pop the Rainmaker shield. They're not done yet. They're going in one more time.
Few
the
more
hammer
points!
Trying
the
to
hammer
protect
getting
that 2! Really good play by Noel right here, taking that top right. Oh my gosh. Like,
wow.
Last minute comeback. We're seeing a wipeout on the side of Banana Split. Talk about a last minute comeback. Noel trying to fight it out there, get that Rainmaker pop, realizing he's going to get it, backing up, but he's still holding that top right, trying to keep his team in the game as long as they can, or at the very least trying to stall PSU Blue out. I mean, they have 10 seconds left on the clock, and they're going to need to bring it all the way to the opposite side of the map, nearly getting reverse KO. What do you think of that, Omazan?
Yeah, it's basically, right now, PSU Blue has to actually get a KO, or at least very close to one. And we're seeing already 1 member of PSU Blue going down as Banana Split is attempting to create more pressure, although we do see 2 down on the side of Banana Split, so they are gradually getting pushed back, although it does not matter, as they ultimately were able to take out the Rainmaker and end that match, giving them a very valuable game over PSU Blue, who is currently completely undefeated. So this is the very first game we've seen PSU Blue lose this season.
Definitely, that is a feat to be celebrated. I mean, we see that Banana Split they've gone 4-3 in both of their matches this season so far. So they haven't exactly had the luxury of sitting at the top of the stack like PSU Blue. But they're not letting that shake them, and they came into this. The start of that match, it was really slow. They were having trouble getting in. I wasn't sure that they were going to be able to do it, but then right at the end, we saw Noel set up that really awesome play, job of a wiper main, and he allowed his team, the rest of his team, to just get into that Rainmaker and really get something going.
Yeah, that pressure they were able to create at the end of the game was really valuable. They didn't back off. They kept their pressure. They stayed up. They were able to get their wiper player to get deeper into the plat and ultimately get some additional picks. That was really, honestly, a game-saving play that really locked in a win for them. And just moving past that, their pressure they were able to keep over mid was insanely valuable as well, and prevented a push on the side of PSU Blue. So we're going to be going into Clan Blitz Eel Tail Alley here, I believe, for our second game. And I don't know, do you have any thoughts here, Raphael?
Well, I think that we're definitely going to see this map. In terms of comp, I think it's probably going to be a little more of a struggle for Banana Split. Their comp was very much oriented around setting up fights with the main weapons. They didn't have a super strong set of specials. I mean, they had Zuka and Tacticooler that was paired with a hammer and a wave, which aren't exactly, they're not gonna offer the same holding power as, say, double Zuka or a crab or something. Compared to PSU Blue, who had that, they were running the Explo, the double Zuka. It's gonna offer more consistent pressure with the rain and just the threat of the lingering Zukas being chained one by one. And it's really going to make it a lot harder to find those openings, especially on such a narrow map. I think it's going to be a struggle for Banana Split if they don't change up their approach.
Absolutely. All right, we're heading into this next game now. So again, Clam Blitz on Eeltail Alley. Let's see what both teams are cooking up. X-Flow again from Vapor. And also that Heavy Splatling again from Wicket. Alright. Yeah, we see a somewhat similar comp as before from PSU Blue, although Snow has opted to grab a 52 gal as opposed to the V-Shot. And I believe Banana Split's comp is the same as last match, if I'm not mistaken.
Actually, it looks like they've swapped out the Heavy Splatling for the Heavy Splatling Deco, and similarly the Wiper for the Wiper Deco, which I would say is a smart play, trading off the Hammer and Wave for the Kraken since it's Clam Blitz, and missiles are, of course, always a good option to have on a map like this, where it's hard to get sideline at the enemy backline. Right here, though, we see Banana Split backed up pretty far into their court, and PSU Blue taking that top bridge area.
Yeah, the Viper ultimately getting a pick right there.
Yeah.
Okay, so we see a ball starting to being built on the side of PSU Blue, as there's just a lot of back and forth action going on, as we see both teams starting to push out some specials, and we see Banana Split getting a ball really deep into, I can't tell, is that that's actually their side, okay.
Yeah, shout out to Kraken right here. We see her getting that triple, and that, like, was that a triple? I think that might have been a triple. It was staggered either way, but still, really, really just duking it out right there. They're holding Banana Split back in their court. They still aren't quite finding the opening they would like for Vapor to get that power clam in the basket. Snow up here, not backing down though. Well, backing down now in the face of the missiles. Trying to find that opening. They pick off two on Banana Split, who was straggling over in that left corner, and that is going to be two balls going into the goal, the first push of the game almost in.
Yeah, two Super Clams going in for the side of PSU Blue. We are already seeing them taking that countdown all the way down to 45. It seems like Kraken ultimately has been kicked out of their zone though, so Banana Split has regained a pretty healthy chunk of their area again, once again.
Definitely, that push was short but sweet. Definitely bringing it down to 45 and when you push that quickly is nothing to frown at. And we see here the missiles finding two picks onto PSU Blue. Noel pushing up under that bridge, getting those people back up into the corner. And see Vapor all around the glass, and that Kraken going off, pushing them even further back, trying to create that space for their team. And we see a ball going in the first push from Banana Split. Are they going to be able? They have enough clams. Actually, no, they don't have enough clams to get lead yet. And with two of their members going down, we are going to have to see Noel try to stagger that basket out as long as he can. But he's unfortunately not able to get that lead, although they get down pretty close. And
yeah, 65 is
setting up.
Yeah, 65 is nothing to necessarily... No, you're all good. 65 isn't anything to like sneeze at by any means, although it is going to be important and very vital for Banana Split to try to just build up more clams on their side and see what they can pick up and take away from PSU Blue in order to have a healthy push moving in. We see Banana Abby right here grabbing 7 clams and getting a pick on that V, on the 52 gallon. They're getting bombarded by many different specials and attacks from PSU Blue. Ultimately, they're able to save that ball and run off from it away from Vapor, who is continuing to remain uncontested, actually, and is very rapidly taking up space that Banana Split needs to hold on to.
This up on that top left bridge is a really powerful position for an Explusher. It doesn't look like they have a lot pressuring him yet. And we see here Banana Abby trying to get some momentum, trying to get onto that left bit, going down in the process, and now PSU Blue back in Banana Split's court, back up in their faces, setting up that push. There's a Kraken going off, trying to disrupt it, trying to stall out as long as it can, although they are able to sneak in few more clams, plus a power clam, bringing that counter all the way down to 8 in the last 30 seconds of the match.
Yeah, the PSU Blue essentially has done as much as they can to lock the win into their favor. Although Banana Split isn't necessarily out just yet. They do have a ball on their side and about 13 clams to back them up as well, including their ball. So it's not necessarily over just yet, although we do see 2 go down on the side of Banana Split, leaving just Null on the ball here as they are backed up to their basket. Ultimately, we're seeing the overtime go down. Null's taking a mad dash to get the ball in. It seems like they ultimately aren't able to get it in as PSU Blue throws in their own ball into the basket, ultimately getting that win for PSU Blue. So we are currently at 1-1. Any thoughts on that match?
That was an unfortunate ending right there for Banana Split. I wasn't sure what Noel was doing with that mad dash over to the enemy side. Apparently he was trying to sneak that power clam in to cancel out PSU Blue's attempt at a push. Going into the next game though, like I expected, I think that just probably wasn't going to be a super strong map for Banana Split and the sorts of weapons they like to play. They brought out those secondary kits, those different kits, but unfortunately it wasn't really enough. Speaking from experience, I know going from Wiper Deco or V-Wiper to Wiper Deco is a lot of a playstyle shift that not everyone is always equipped for.
Definitely.
I know I am not good. I'm not good at V-Wiper, but I'm a lot worse at Wiper Deco. Going into Game 3, however, we're going to be brought over to Splat Zones on Crableg Capital. This is not a map mode that I have a lot of experience with. One of the newer ones to the game as of the last season, and I think it'll be interesting to see how those greats sort of play into Vapor's decision here on the X-Blow. I trust that we're going to see him pull it out anyway, although as far as backlines go, on a map with greats, X-Blow is going to be in for a little bit of a harder time trying to flush out that enemy, or whatever enemy is standing up there.
Definitely. This is a very interesting map in particular, as we have a lot of greats that the different players are able to play around on. So flanks are going to be important to watch out for, and also just the control of the upper areas related to those greats is going to be important as well. So we're going to be moving into this next match very shortly here. Keeping an eye out for what each team will be ultimately running to see how they will be approaching this match.
And we see on the side of PSU Blue, Vapor pulling that X-Blow again. Even in the face of adversity, it's his tried and true. That's his thing.
Yeah.
And cracking on the ink brush as always too. Both teams making a mad dash for that zone. It doesn't really look like either is going to set up a special early on. And we're just going to see a firefight. First favor of the zone goes to Banana Split. That Snipe Rider puts out a lot of pain on that zone really quickly. Snow going in for a flank, picking Wicked off before he can get the jump out. And that is going to be a favorable position for PSU Blue.
Absolutely. We currently see Banana Split attempting to retain control of their left pit, although ultimately Kraken taking out their V-shot there. We see Wicket on the Nautilus ultimately also going down to Snow with their Splash-O-Matic, and creating more pressure on the Greats there, as you see, ultimately taking out Lemon, their pencil player. We see the PSU Blue is not backing down right now. They're pulling out their crab right there, and they're creating a heavy amount of pressure onto their flat and area as well. Ultimately, we do see Banana Split ultimately able to re-grab the zone, although they do need to move up and pressure PSU Blue quick.
Yeah, we saw it kind of slowed down their momentum there. There was a straggler from PSU Blue who managed to force that trade against Abby. Banana Split finally fully back in the zone, although they just don't have the resources to really hold it for very long. We see a firefight coming out of both teams here. Um, Banana Abbey finding that pick with the Trizuka against the Splash. That zone flipping back into their favor. Really nicely placed Splat Bomb coming from Kraken Mare here on the flank. Who is going to go in? No, they are setting up a shark, biding their time until anyone unsuspectingly drops down on them. Unfortunately, it's not enough, and we see PSU Blue back into a corner here, except it's a 2v2 situation now. Krakenmare still trying to fight it out, find her way in, or at the very least exist and pester her opponent. The counter, however, is ticking down. Banana Split taking that lead.
Yeah, Banana Split is able to retain their control of the zone still, although they do have that nice 32 penalty. We see them continuing to move forward. A little bit of a firefight happening in that right hit, as we see two go down on the side of Banana Split, and they're ultimately forced to give control of the map over to PSU Blue once again. We see Jay here sharking a ledge, seeing if he can grab a pick, ultimately just having to wait, and then we see one go down thanks to him partly. Banana Split's forced into a corner here as they're pulling out their crab tank, they're pulling out all of their specials and bombs and really anything they can throw at the other team.
Yeah, really smart play there from Jay jumping out, not to spawn, but back to his crab tank posted up on the brakes. It lets him get back in the game faster to really keep that momentum going. We see another 2v2 situation here. 10 points left on that clock. Is Banana Split going to be able to cap it? We see someone go down. Lemon making a desperate play to cap that zone and stall it out a little longer, but they aren't able to find it. And that's game 3 going in favor of PSU Blue. Thoughts on that game, Omazen?
That was a very back and forth game. We saw Banana Split for the majority of it, able to inch out a lead once they were able to get a push in, although once PSU Blue pushed back, they weren't able to get in quick enough and to maintain enough control and pressure overall consistently to really cement their lead and just a win in general. So moving into this next game on a tower control, where it's going to be really important for them to make sure that they're controlling the area around the objective and ensuring that they can keep up a healthy amount of pressure and keep PSU Blue back. We've seen them get gradually more aggressive as these matches have gone on. So Banana Split definitely has the power to ultimately get another win over PSU Blue here, although we will have to wait and see how both teams are ultimately cooking up their comps and will try to respond to one another.
Definitely. It'll be interesting to see if Noel decides to pull out a counter pick. We've been seeing him. I keep calling him Noel. I'm sorry. I believe it's Noel. We're gonna have to see if he decides to pull out a different sort of weapon. I know tower control can be an awkward map for the Splatanas sometimes, with them being line of sight weapons and just an awkward objective, but Humpback more so can be a little finicky with those weapons. Of course, a skilled Splatana user is going to be able to work around anything. Those are just all around good weapons, so I don't expect we're going to see him change anything up, but I wouldn't be surprised if we see him pull out that Wiper Deco once more to try and force their way through that elbow over on the right side of the map before pushing tower any further. It looks like Banana is probably considering a comp change. PSU Blue pretty much instantly locked in, but we see Banana kind of biding their time a little more.
Yeah,
what I think we're going to want to see out of this game is, I mean, the nature of tower control is just that you really want to draw out those pushes. You're going to want a little more holding power rather than raw aggression. So let's see what sorts of comps they pull out, Omazen.
Definitely. Ooh, PSU Blue opting to grab a gold arrow spray. And we also see a carbon now on the side of Banana Split, so Banana Split is opting for a much more sharky and very close-ranged comp, while the side of PSU Blue is aiming to just get more paint down on the ground. We see the Carbon attempting to get picks off, although ultimately going down to Vapor's Explo, as the T-Tech from the side of Banana Split is throwing out their special, trying to maintain paint pressure, although it will not be enough, as we see the Trizuka also throw, and also the Booyah Bomb, controlling more zone and paint. The Carbon Deco attempting to go for a flank of sorts, as they're just trying to find a pick somewhere, ultimately going down to a 2v1 situation. And really, Banana Split is just trickling in a lot right now. We see the Wiper player getting a pick thanks to a team up with their teammates, although they're going to have to get a lot of paint down if they're hoping to secure a push on the tower here.
Definitely. I would just like to say shout out to Jay on the gold air spray. Not even a minute into the match, we've already seen 3 Booyah Bombs go off. And Krakenmare trying to force a double there. Unfortunately trading out Abby, but that's still a favorable trade for their team, question mark, who is a little pushed back into the court. We see Noel going to that elbow, maybe not with as much backup as he would like, but it looks like surviving in precarious situations is kind of his forte today, as he's able to stall out until he can get that hammer, forcing that trade, and allowing Wicked with the Carbon to get in on cleanup. Snow, though, coming in clutch, getting a double on both of them, bringing PSU Blue right back into mid with the numbers advantage against Banana Split.
Yeah, Banana Split's going to have to answer this push fast if they're hoping that if PSU Blue won't get too much points on their side. We see an attempted flank from Carbon Deco there as they ultimately go down. The T-Tech throwing out their trips, hoping to land something, although it doesn't appear they really did. Kraken sharking here, ultimately attempting to take out Wicked. Wicked's able to ultimately get the pick there. They're also able to get another pick on the Aerospray player. So we're seeing Banana Split ultimately able to get some important kills down on the ground, and also starting to throw out some specials that should help them in the long run.
That was all 4 specials coming out of Banana Split right there. We saw Wicked with the Zuka, the wave coming out from Lemon, and Noel with the hammer, and I believe there were strikes in there somewhere in the mix. But that's going to be a really big push coming out from Banana Split. Unfortunately, however, 3 of them going down at the same time, leaving Abby alone, backing up into that bunker. Gonna bait her time until her team can get back. She dives in, getting the pick on Snow. She's going after Vapor on the tower. Is she gonna find the pick? Unfortunately not.
Yeah, a really unfortunate. Yeah, a
Oh.
really unfortunate. Oh wow, sorry. I just got like really taken aback there by Vapor's multiple picks they were able to just grab, as Banana Split has really been pushed back really hard here. The Trizuka also backing them up, as it seems like they're about to get a lead, and they do at 45 at the moment. Banana Split's Carbon roller player Wicket able to get the Tower Rider off and help push everyone else on the side of PSU Blue back.
Really explosive pushes from both teams here, and the lead is very neck and neck right now. It's in PSU Blue's favor, but 2 more points and Banana Split is going to get that right back. We see Noel setting up a deep flank in there, creating space for their T-Tech, who is going to go in with the strikes. Unfortunately, 2 members of Banana Split down here. 3 now. They aren't going to be able to find them a win if they wanted with that last push, and that's a delayed wipe right there with Noel going down again. Last 40 seconds of the game, time and a ticking. Banana Split is kind of trickling into PSU Blue here. They're really going to want to make sure they paint up those specials, try to slowly inch up and get that space back if they want to have one more shot at the lead.
Yeah, we do see Banana Split starting to trickle in a little bit, though. Noel attempting to get a pick there, although getting picked off. With only 15 seconds about left on the clock, it seems like Banana Split is in a really precarious position, as they have to get the tower right now and land some picks if they want a shot at going into overtime.
See Abby diving for that tower in a last-ditch effort, but unfortunately PSU Blue was expecting exactly that, and swiftly they cut it off and take game 4 for themselves. It is now match point, and if Banana Split wants to have a shot at taking this game back for themselves, they're going to nearly have to reverse sweep the set.
Yeah, that is true. It's not something that Banana Split is too unfamiliar with, as they have technically gone 4-3 their past two matches. So it's not out completely out of the possibility for a game 7 to happen here. Although um, they are going to have to kind of reconvene a little bit, figure out what they can do to answer PSU Blue's pressure, and ensure that they can do their best to balance out a healthy amount of paint, pressure, and special usage, as well as just overall coordination in order to get another win over PSU Blue.
Definitely. I think first and foremost, what you're going to need to do here if you're Banana Split is take a breather. Nerves might be high right now. I don't know. I mean, I can't speak for them, but I know if I
I
were in
feel
this
it right now.
situation, nerves would be high right now. You know, it's like your opponent's at match point. You have 3 games ahead of you that you're going to need to win if you want to take this back for yourself. It's really important in these sorts of situations to take a step back, decompress, reset your mental, zen out, and go back. GG's go next. Um, Rainmaker Manta Maria, I think, is going to be probably a stronger map mode for their sort of playstyle. We saw the only game they've taken so far was on Rainmaker with that more sort of aggressive comp. I think we're going to see them probably. It's going to be play a little more to their strengths. Tower and Splat Zones, those are just slower modes by nature. So more, brawly comps, the wipers and that sort of thing, aren't going to be able to do exactly what they would like to do in those situations.
Oh, definitely. Or they do seem to have an overall better, uh, just overall coordination and strength around Rainmaker, as we previously saw. So it's going to be important for them to do their best to figure out how they can space out PSU Blue as they push the Rainmaker forward, and ensure that they have various flank route areas covered to prevent PSU Blue from throwing them off, getting behind them, and ensuring that they also keep control of their bunker, as Manta Maria is very infamous for having the bunker being taken from either side.
Definitely, I would like to see if we see a Tri-Slosher come out of either team here. That is just a really powerful weapon in that position. Although on the side of PSU Blue, I suppose the X-Blow fills a similar niche. We're going to see a double Splatling comp on the side of Banana Split, that Nautilus Ballpoint combination. Um, I am not sure if those are two weapons that I would choose to run alongside each other. Let's see how that plays out for Banana Split here, getting that first comp of the game.
Yeah, I think this double Splatling comp may come to benefit Banana Split, as they're able to just lay down more long-ranged pressure, and also have some really valuable specials on their side too, with the Inkjet, for example, on the ballpoint. We see Jay attempting a flank, as the ballpoint player is ultimately able to back up onto the grates in mid there. Wicket also attempting to back up the ball points path forward, although ultimately dying to a random splat bomb that was thrown out from the side of PSU Blue. We were seeing them trying to land picks, although ultimately PSU Blue is a bit too scattered and all over the place for Banana Split to ultimately land a solid pick.
Definitely. It looks like PSU Blue just Banana Split was kind of trickling into their opponent, but PSU Blue just was a little too scattered to really take advantage of that. We see it looks like they've gotten their act together right now, and they are dashing that Rainmaker, making a beeline for that check, bringing it all the way down to 21. 2 members down, they're stalling it out in the street. Their push is not... It is over, it looks, as that's a delayed wipe. Wicket trying to reestablish that presence in mid as their team jumps back in. I think if we're Banana Split here, we're definitely going to want to play a little more together, a little more opportunistically. They're going to want to bait their time, make sure when they're going in, it's, really the time to go in. You see them trickling a little here, and sometimes it looks like they were just missing some of the opportunities that they could have had to move up into mid a little faster.
Yeah, we've seen in prior matches that Banana Split has struggled a little bit with trickling in, and it's going to be important for them to reconvene here and try their best to land maybe a good special kill or just overall momentum. Although we do see Vapor confirming that win on the side of PSU Blue, uh, leaving this at a 4-1, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, so that is match point for PSU Blue right there, taking the set off of Banana Split in the season of our Lord, season 4 of CCA. Um, I mean,
Wow.
congratulations to both teams for coming out here tonight and giving it their all. I expect we're going to be seeing a play all seven, as per CCA tradition is, of course. But
Mhm.
what are your thoughts on that set, Omazen?
Yeah, I think first off, I want to congratulate Banana Split on their efforts overall during this set. They may have not gotten the overall win over PSU Blue, although so far they are the first team this season to actually get a win over PSU Blue at all. So, big congrats to them. It's not something to look down upon or anything. It's a very good achievement. Um, Going into these future maps, though, with Clan Blitz on Shipshape coming up next, we are seeing yet another one of the new maps added to the most recent season of Splatoon 3, our favorite video game. Raphael, what are you expecting to happen here?
What am I expecting to happen here? That is a
Yeah.
fantastic question. I suspect we're going to see Banana Split return to that comp they had earlier, with the. I wouldn't. Would I be surprised? I would be a little surprised to see the Carbon Deco actually. I don't know that this is a Carbon type of map, but I don't play Carbon Roller, so I'm really not sure, that is to say, what I would expect out of them. However, I do expect they're going to swap off of that double Splatling comp. I just don't know that it worked out for them. I think it might have been a little silly. We see Jay here sticking on that 52 gal that they've been sticking on
Bamboozler.
ever since game two. And Wicket pulling out the Bamboozler. That is a very interesting change of pace from the Carbon Roller Deco. But let's see how that plays out for Banana Split here.
Yeah, Banana Split just had a really dramatic comp change from their double splatling, opting to grab a Bamboozler and two cheaters and the Wiper. We do see all of them except Wicket, except I guess also now Wicket going down with a delayed wipe for PSU Blue, ultimately being able to throw in a Power Clam and a few more in change. Banana Split trying to get PSU Blue out of their basket area. We see Vapor here getting kicked out of the top left portion of the map that belongs to Banana Split as well.
Not without taking out his two opponents though. That is really tricky to do with an Explosher. So congratulations to Vapor for pulling that off. We see Jay here biding their time, waiting for the moment, and when they strike, they find a double. They're pushing Banana Split back and outnumbering them 3-1. Jay slowly creeping up here with that 52 gal. The rest of his team filling in behind him. They have two power clams and the special Vapor on Banana Split. That Trizuka flushing Wicket out of position is going to find the pick. It still has one shot left. It isn't going to find the pick, but it is able to distract them long enough for Kraken to get in there and cause some havoc. That's Banana Split's, or PSU Blue, I'm sorry, that is their first push of the game, going all the way down to 27.
Yeah, PSU Blue having really strong push here. You see Kraken trying to get a few more clams in the basket. Going down, though, to the Killer Whale 5.1. Banana Split regaining control of their side of the court. And Noel trying to grab a pick or two, or just really poke and cause a few issues for PSU Blue on the left. Grabbing a pick, though, on Snow from the side of PSU Blue.
Yeah, and we see the members of PSU Blue going down one by one here. They're in that hard stagger, and Noel getting in there with the hammer, trying to cause some havoc of his own, finding a double, finding a triple,
Getting 3.
popping off, going down, but not without leaving Vapor on his own. In a 1v1 situation against Ave here, who is trying to kind of scramble out now that the push is dead.
That was a pretty solid push from the side of Banana Split, ultimately able to grab 50 points on their side of the scoreboard. Although they are going to need another strong push if they're hoping to land a win here. Wicked causing a lot of pressure on the right side of the court with their football. They're able to get it in, although not without also getting splatted in the process, and we see a wipeout now on the side of Banana Split as PSU Blue is aggressively and rapidly approaching their basket.
Definitely a little bit of a fumble there on the side of Banana Split, I'd like to add. I think they were trying to force those clams in, but you really don't want your Bamboozler going in ahead of everyone else. I think their win condition is going to be getting that crab tank posted up on court. They just need to play around that a little more. But we have a power clam jumping in, getting that counter down to 7, precariously close to knockout, but Banana Split was able to get a delayed wipe onto PSU Blue, and they're not leaving this game as yet. Noel dueling it out here with Jay, unfortunately going down in the process, but with that tactical, he is going to be right back into the action. Almost in.
Yeah. We see Vapor trying to maintain control of their grates on the left side of the map here, as the shooter players on the side of Banana Split are trying to get them moved out, although they're staggering just a little bit too long, allowing an opening for PSU Blue to regain control of mid, with the Viper player down on the side of Banana Split, creating a lot of opportunity for PSU Blue to move forward. Although, as I say that, we see Banana Split already moving back on their side of the map and regaining a lot of mid control.
Definitely, it just looks like these teams are just duking it out, going down left and right, trades happening all over the place. Banana Split getting some mileage into PSU Blue's court, though trying to sneak that power clam in without the numbers advantage, and the last desperate effort isn't going to pay off for them here. Now they're down 2, outnumbered 2-1, and with the last 10 seconds of the game in action, it looks like this game is going to go to PSU Blue once again, unless Banana Split pulls something out in overtime.
Certainly wouldn't be impossible, and it's not the first time we've seen them attempt to make a last-ditch push as well. Although they are going to have to make a lot of rapid, a very rapid approach here. We do see 3 down on the side of PSU Blue.
Making that beeline,
just
you
short.
would love to see it.
Yeah, we did see them just get their feet onto their basket's platform. Although they were just far away enough where they weren't able to actually throw it and try to get that overtime push started.
Definitely. They almost, they had that tactical, or they were going in there at like Mach speeds, but they barely had enough time to get that power clam in, and unfortunately they weren't able to find that score.
Yeah.
That was a game to watch. It looks like they're using this. I mean, at this point, you're not gonna want to take it too seriously, because that's just pressure that you're putting on yourself. So it looks like their Banana Split at least is using this to probably test out some options, if I had to guess. Definitely against one of the more formidable opponents they tend to go up against. That is not a bad idea right there. It's basically just a scrim at this point.
It's a good way to look at it. Yeah, it's gonna be.
That's the way we always look at it.
Yeah. Oh, definitely. At this point of the set, we're just looking to have some fun, see what silly things we can maybe accomplish while also trying to be productive as well. So it's going to be interesting to see, with that in mind, what Banana Split opts to try out here. This is going to be a very valuable game for them to try to see what they should gradually try to move forward with in this current CCA season if they happen to replay PSU Blue at any point.
Definitely. I mean, the set has gone to PSU Blue tonight, but keep in mind both of these teams were undefeated so far. So if Banana Split wants a chance at playoffs, they are by no means out of the running yet. And being the champions of Season 1 last spring, that is not out of the question, certainly, by any stretch. for them to make it back to playoffs. Going into SmackDown's Mako Mart, however, what sorts of comps are we going to see them pulling out this time? We see PSU Blue on the tried and true. Actually, they're swapping the splash out with the shot. Going Zukaless this time. That's a brave decision in the meta of our Lord 5.1. And we see on the side of Banana Split a pencil in favor of the Bamboozler.
Yeah, that Snipe Rider is going to be really important for Banana Split to ensure that they can get just more picks and take more risks. That almost sounded like a rhyme. But we see PSU Blue going really back and forth with Banana Split. Kraken running all over the place, causing havoc, making sure that Banana Split can not just waltz into mid and do anything they'd like. We do see them ultimately going down, although Banana Split still has to deal with the rest of PSU Blue as they try to break into mid.
As we see Ave here kind of just painting it out here in the back, trying to stall, trying to build up that special. They're outnumbered here. They are alone, getting closed in on like mad with the tactical. They're able to jump out back to safety. Jay finding that pick on Banana Abby dropping in the zone. But with 2 down and specials coming from Banana Split, they are able to get that presence back in zone. We see Noel posting up in the freezer, going down to Krakenmare, who came out of nowhere on him. And Krakenmare diving in onto Banana Abby, moving up on that left side. She has a mission, and she is on it.
Yeah, Krakenmare, just like before, getting Banana Split out of the zone by doing what they do best, causing chaos. We see the side of Banana Split, once again, trying to break into zone with Krakenmare once again down, or creating an opening for it to become possible. Although Jay cleaning up a couple players from the side of Banana Split, leaving just one of their shooter players out. We do see them all once again up though, as Noel is trying to keep pressure with Banana Abby on the behind street on the side of PSU Blue.
Definitely, we see Noel carries close to that Splat Bomb, but surviving in that dangerous situation, as is his shtick on the Wiper. Unfortunately, backing out to mid, he gets caught by Vapor, who gets the pick, moves up with his team, establishing that presence back on right stack. Vapor here doing explode things. Trying to find some picks, some stragglers from Banana Split on that left drop. Together with Krakenmare, they're able to secure the pick, and they're just not backing off of that zone.
Yeah, definitely. We see the penalty also now going away, leaving 10 seconds roughly on the scoreboard, as PSU Blue has to just maintain enough control that they can get the win, and they do.
Yes, that is effectively game 7 of the set, going to PSU Blue. I'm sorry, my head is not with it right now. But yeah, congratulations to PSU Blue. Congratulations to both teams for coming out here on a Saturday night, spending their time playing Splatoon with each other. What more could you ask for? I mean, Splatoon,
I couldn't ask
love
for
Splatoon.
any
It's
more.
our favorite game, right?
Yeah.
But yeah,
So,
do you have anything you would like to say to the audience, Omazen, before signing off?
this was just a really exciting set to watch for anyone that happens to watch the CCA podcast or the Pod CCAS. We really highlighted this match during that, and this was not something that disappointed at all. So really great work from both teams. We'll be looking forward to seeing your future sets in the future.
Definitely, and shout out to you and Krona on the CCA cast yesterday. That was I watched it. That was the first time I was able to tune in,
Oh,
and
really?
it did not disappoint. If you're a CCA enthusiast and you're not watching the podcast, then what are you doing? Come
What are
on,
you
man.
doing?
Um,
No, it's a
yeah.
fun time.
So without that, right? It was a fun time, and they brought on teams to interview and everything. It was Go give it a watch next time they run it. Perfect background noise for doing homework. But without further ado, I'm Raphael. If you want to find me on the internet for some reason, then you can find me on twitter.com. It is still twitter.com in my mind and my heart. At LRaphi. I believe that's correct. If it's wrong, then sue me. Where can the good people of the CCA find you, Omazen?
Yeah, so y'all can find me on Twitter at omazen_monket. And yeah, that's pretty much it from my side.